there's a behavior most people ignore, and it quietly erodes their authority. It's simple, invisible, performed daily without thought. You do it right now, in meetings, in conversations, online. Every time you do it, you lose power. Not dramatically, not obviously, just quietly, like water eroding stone, invisible to the naked eye, devastating over time. Robert Greene understood this. In Time's The 48 Laws of Power, he exposed how presence itself can become weakness. Tonight, I'm going to show you why, and more importantly, I'm going to show you how to reverse it. Picture this: a meeting room, fluorescent lights humming overhead, 10 people around a polished table. Someone speaks up. They share an idea, then another, then they elaborate. They fill every silence with words. They respond to every comment instantly. They explain their weekend plans, their thoughts on the weather, their opinion on everything. Everyone nods politely, but watch their eyes. They've already dismissed this person, not because the ideas were bad, but because they were everywhere, like air, necessary but unnoticed, present but powerless. Now think about your own behavior. You try to be present, available, friendly. You respond to every message within minutes, sometimes seconds. You attend every meeting, even the optional ones. You share your thoughts freely, openly, constantly. You volunteer for visibility. You seek connection. You pursue presence. You think this makes you valuable. It doesn't. It makes you common. And common things, by definition, have no power. Here's what no one tells you. Distance creates power, not rudeness, not coldness, not cruelty. Distance. The human mind assigns value through a simple equation that hasn't changed in 10,000 years. Scarcity equals importance. This isn't philosophy. It's neuroscience. Your brain has limited processing power. It must prioritize. It must categorize. It must decide what matters and what doesn't. When something is always available, the brain categorizes it as low priority, background, ambient, ignorable. This isn't conscious. It's neurological, hardwired, inescapable. Think about it. The boss who's rarely in the office commands more attention than the one who's always there. When they appear, people notice. When they speak, people listen. When they leave, people remember. Compare that to the boss whose door is always open, who's always available, always present. They become part of the furniture, part of the routine, part of the background noise of office life. Same title, same authority, completely different power dynamics. The friend who's selective with their time is valued more than the one who's always free. When they make plans, it feels special. When they cancel, it stings. When they choose you, it means something. But the friend who's always available, always ready to hang out, always responding instantly, they become an option, not a priority, a backup plan, not a first choice. The expert who speaks rarely is heard more clearly than the one who comments on everything. Every industry has them. The person who has an opinion on every topic, a comment for every discussion, a thought for every thread. And every industry ignores them, because abundance breeds indifference, while scarcity commands attention. This isn't about being mean. It's about understanding psychological weight. Every interaction carries weight, but that weight is determined by frequency. Imagine a scale. On one side, presence. On the other, power. Every time you appear, you add to presence, but you subtract from power. Every email you send immediately. Every meeting you attend unnecessarily. Every conversation you extend beyond its natural end. You're not building relationships. You're building familiarity. And familiarity doesn't breed contempt. It breeds something worse: indifference. When you're constantly present, you become background noise, static, white noise, the hum of the refrigerator that no one notices until it stops. When you're selectively present, you become signal, clear, sharp, impossible to ignore. Most people get this backwards. They think visibility equals influence. But influence isn't about being seen. It's about being noticed. They think availability equals reliability. But reliability isn't about always saying yes. It's about your yes meaning something. They think presence equals power. But power isn't about being everywhere. It's about mattering when you're somewhere. They're wrong. Constant presence doesn't make you important. It makes you furniture. And furniture doesn't command respect. It gets rearranged. Furniture doesn't influence decisions. It accommodates them. Furniture doesn't shape rooms. It fills them. Is that what you want to be? Furniture? 3 forces push you toward overexposure. Each one feels natural, logical, even virtuous. Each one slowly strips your power. First, biology. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons. Among them, a special class called mirror neurons. These cells fire when you observe others. They create an unconscious urge to match energy, fill silence, reciprocate presence. When someone shares, you share. When someone speaks, you speak. When someone is available, you make yourself available. This isn't weakness, it's wiring. In small tribes of 150 people or less, this served our ancestors. Constant communication meant survival. Tribal cohesion meant protection. Being cast out meant death. So we evolved to connect, to be present, to be included. But modern hierarchies aren't tribes. They're competitions. And in competitions, the rules are different. What saved your ancestors now sabotages you. The urge to fill silence makes you talk too much. The need to reciprocate makes you overshare. The desire for inclusion makes you omnipresent. In tribal settings, constant presence meant safety. In modern hierarchies, it means submission. Second, social conditioning. From the moment you could speak, you've been programmed. Be friendly. Be accessible. Be a team player. Be present. Schools reward the student who raises their hand constantly, not the one who speaks once with precision. Teachers praise participation. Quantity over quality. Presence over impact. Jobs promote the idea of open-door policies, collaborative environments, always available leadership, not strategic availability, not selective presence, not calculated distance. Social media algorithms reward constant posting, daily stories, hourly updates, constant engagement, not selective presence, not strategic silence, not powerful absence. You've been trained to equate visibility with value, activity with productivity, presence with importance. This training is killing your authority, one interaction at a time. Third, ego, the most dangerous force of all. Your need for validation. Every time you speak, post, or appear, you're seeking confirmation. Am I seen? Am I heard? Am I valid? These questions drive behavior. They create patterns. They form habits. But here's the paradox. The more you seek confirmation, the less valuable you become. Because valuable people don't seek, they're sought. Think about it. The person constantly asking, "Did you see my email?" versus the person whose emails everyone watches for. The person always asking to be included versus the person everyone wants to include. The person seeking validation versus the person granting it. Same need, different strategy, opposite results. Your ego tells you that presence equals proof of worth. That being included means being important. That being visible means being valuable. Your ego is lying, and that lie is costing you power. This pattern destroys power in 3 modern contexts. Each one feels productive, professional, even admirable. Each one quietly erodes your authority. The workplace. You arrive early, leave late, always at your desk. You answer every email within minutes, sometimes seconds. The notification appears, you respond. You think this shows dedication. It shows desperation. You attend every optional meeting, every casual discussion, every after-work gathering. You think this shows engagement. It shows you have no priorities. You volunteer for every project. Raise your hand for every task. Say yes to every request. You think this shows initiative. It shows you can't discriminate between what matters and what doesn't. You eat lunch at your desk, always available. Door always open. Calendar always accessible. You think this shows leadership. Your colleagues think you have no boundaries. Your boss thinks you have no judgment. Your constant presence broadcasts one message: I have nothing better to do. And people with nothing better to do don't get promoted. They get used. Social groups, you document every moment online. The coffee you're drinking, the sunset you're watching, the thought you just had. Share every experience. Tag every person. Comment on every post. You respond to every message instantly. The typing indicator appears immediately, no matter the time, no matter the day. You think this builds connection. It builds contempt. Not conscious contempt, but the quiet kind, the subconscious kind, the kind that accumulates like dust, the kind that makes people scroll past your posts without reading, the kind that makes them delay responding to your messages, the kind that makes them forget to invite you. Not from malice, from fatigue, because abundant things aren't treasured. They're consumed and forgotten. Water is essential for life, but no one posts pictures of their tap water. Air is necessary for survival, but no one celebrates each breath. When you make yourself as available as air, you become just as noticed. Relationships. You explain every feeling, justify every action, narrate every thought. I feel this way because I did that because I'm thinking about. You share every insecurity, every doubt, every fear. You think this creates intimacy. It creates suffocation. You're available for every call, every plan, every conversation. Drop everything for their needs. Cancel nothing for your own. Always accessible, always ready. You think this shows love. It shows low value. The other person doesn't feel closer to you. They feel trapped by you. Because mystery isn't the opposite of intimacy. It's the foundation of it. When everything is known, nothing is intriguing. When everything is shared, nothing is special. When everything is available, nothing is desired. Overexposure carries 3 specific costs. Each compounds over time. Each becomes harder to reverse. Each leaves permanent damage. First, loss of respect. Respect is built on a foundation of psychological distance, not physical distance, not emotional distance, psychological distance. It's the space between what people know about you and what they want to know, between what you reveal and what you conceal, between your presence and your absence. When you're always accessible, always explaining, always present, you eliminate that distance. And with it, you eliminate respect. People don't respect what they can summon at will. Think about it. The executive whose calendar is booked months out versus the one who's always free. Same role, same title, different respect levels. The consultant who's selective with clients versus the one who takes anyone. Same expertise, same value, different perception. The friend who requires planning to see versus the one who's always available. Same person, same relationship, different treatment. They respect what requires effort to access, what demands planning to obtain, what costs something to acquire. Free things have no value. Available things have no worth. Present things have no power. Think about the colleague everyone interrupts. They're speaking, someone cuts them off. They accept it, continue later, get cut off again, versus the one people schedule time to see. They speak. Everyone listens. No one interrupts. Their time is respected because they've made it scarce. Same competence, different present strategies, vastly different respect levels. Second, reduced leverage. Every interaction is a negotiation. Not just salary discussions, not just business deals. Every single interaction. Who speaks first? Who waits for whom? Who accommodates whose schedule? These micro-negotiations determine macro dynamics. And negotiation is about perceived alternatives. When you're always available, you broadcast that you have none. No other options, no other priorities, no other demands on your time. This applies everywhere. Salary negotiations. The employee who seems busy, selective, in demand, commands higher offers. The one who seems eager, available, flexible, gets minimum packages. Relationship dynamics. The partner with a full life outside the relationship maintains attraction. The one who's always available, always waiting, always ready, loses it. Social invitations. The person who's selective with their yes creates demand. The one who always accepts becomes an afterthought. The person who's always free has no leverage. The person who's selectively available holds all the cards. Because leverage isn't about what you have. It's about what people think you have, and availability signals you have nothing. The solution isn't to become a hermit. It's to become strategic. 3 principles govern powerful presence. Master them, and you master perception. Master perception, and you master power. First, use silence strategically. Not angry silence. That's weak. Not punitive silence. That's petty. Calculated silence. That's power. Silence serves 4 functions. It creates space for others to reveal themselves. It forces importance onto your words when you do speak. It generates tension that others rush to fill. It demonstrates comfort with power dynamics. In meetings, let others fill the air. They'll speak first, second, third. They'll reveal their positions, their insecurities, their needs. Meanwhile, you observe, process, calculate. When you finally speak, Speak last. Speak once. Speak with precision. Your words will land like a gavel, final, decisive, powerful. In conversations, pause before responding. Not to plan your words, that's obvious, but to create weight. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Watch how uncomfortable people become. Watch how they rush to fill the void. Watch how they reveal more than they intended. Your pause creates their panic. Their panic creates your power. Online, post less frequently, but with higher impact. While others flood feeds with daily updates, you appear monthly, quarterly. Second, cultivate strategic absence. This isn't about being unavailable. It's about being selectively available. There's a difference. Miss the optional meeting. Not all of them, but enough to be noticed. When you do attend, your presence carries weight because it's chosen, not default. Delay the non-urgent response. Not rudely, not indefinitely, but long enough to break the pattern of instant availability. Let them wonder. Let them wait. Let them value your response when it arrives. Skip the casual gathering, the after-work drinks where nothing happens, the team lunch where everything is small talk, the social obligation that's neither social nor obligatory. Your absence will be noted more than your presence ever was. Where's David? That question is power. Third, make your actions minimal but deliberate. Every word, every gesture, every presence should feel intentional, not forced, not theatrical, intentional. Don't explain your decisions. I can't make the meeting. Not, I can't make the meeting because I have another commitment that's really important and I'm so sorry, but just, I can't make the meeting. Don't justify your boundaries. I don't check email after 7 p.m. Not, I try not to check email after 7 p.m. because work-life balance is important to me, and I read this study that said, just, I don't check email after 7 p.m. Don't apologize for your absence. I wasn't at the optional session. Not, sorry I missed the optional session. I had some things to handle and I know I should have been there, but just acknowledgement. Then movement forward. Simply act. Then observe how others adjust. Because they will adjust. Power doesn't announce itself. It simply is. And others organize themselves around it. 2 archetypes illustrate this principle. Study them. You'll recognize them. You might even be one of them. The oversharer. Watch them in any group. They're impossible to miss because they're always talking. They arrive early, leave late, contribute to every discussion. They have opinions on topics they know nothing about, stories for every situation, advice no one asked for. They send paragraphs when sentences would suffice, multi-text messages that could have been one, emails that require scrolling, voice notes that test patience. They attend every gathering, work events, social functions, casual meetups. They're always there, always present, always available. They comment on every topic, the weather, politics, sports they don't watch, shows they don't understand. They must contribute, must be heard, must be included. They share every detail of their life, what they ate for breakfast, their workout routine, their relationship drama, their work frustrations, their weekend plans, their childhood trauma, their future dreams, everything, always, constantly. They think they're building relationships. They're building invisibility. People nod at them, but look through them. Include them, but don't consider them. Invite them, but don't miss them when they're gone. They have presence without power, volume without value, visibility without influence. They're furniture with a voice. Now observe the quiet observer. They're harder to spot. That's the point. They speak rarely. But when they do, the room shifts. Energy redirects. Attention focuses. Side conversations stop. Not because they demand it, because they command it. They're selective with their presence. They miss meetings, skip gatherings, decline invitations. But when they appear, it means something. Their presence is a choice, not a habit. A decision, not a default. They don't explain their thoughts. They state them. Clear, concise, complete. No justification. No elaboration unless asked. No need for validation. They don't seek attention. They command it through absence, through silence, through selective engagement. They understand a fundamental truth. Attention is currency, and you don't throw currency around. You invest it. Watch them in any meeting. Others fill the first 20 minutes with opinions, suggestions, concerns. The quiet observer listens, processes, waits. When they finally speak, often near the end, they reshape the entire discussion, not through force, through timing. Same room, same people, same opportunities. One is furniture, one is force. The only difference? Distance. Here's the principle most will ignore, because it contradicts everything they've been taught, everything they believe, everything that feels natural. Distance is not rejection, it is authority. Read that again. Distance is not rejection, it is authority. The surgeon isn't cold, they're precise. They maintain professional distance not from lack of care, but from abundance of it. Distance allows clarity. Clarity allows precision. Precision saves lives. The general isn't cruel. They're strategic. They maintain command distance not from ego, but from necessity. Distance allows perspective. Perspective allows strategy. Strategy wins wars. The master isn't distant. They're valuable. They maintain teaching distance, not from arrogance, but from wisdom. Distance allows mystery. Mystery allows curiosity. Curiosity creates true learning. When you create space, you create desire. Space in conversation creates anticipation. Space in availability creates demand. Space in presence creates intrigue. When you limit access, you increase worth. Limited editions command premium prices. Limited availability commands premium attention. Limited presence commands premium respect. When you choose silence, you amplify your words. In a world of noise, silence is signal. In a world of constant speech, silence is strength. In a world of endless presence, silence is power. This isn't manipulation, it's physics. The same forces that make diamonds valuable make humans powerful. Pressure, time, scarcity, not availability, not friendliness, not constant presence. Diamonds aren't valuable because they're useful. They're valuable because they're rare. Gold isn't precious because it's practical. It's precious because it's scarce. And human attention follows the same laws, the same principles, the same truths. Remember this: the most powerful person in any room is the one who could leave it and everyone would notice. Not the one talking the most, not the one trying the hardest, Not the one always available, the one whose absence would create a void, whose silence would be heard, whose departure would be felt. That's power, real power, the kind that doesn't announce itself. It simply exists, and others organize their world around it. In the next video, I'll expose why overconnection actually destroys influence faster than silence ever could. You'll discover why the people trying hardest to build relationships are often the ones destroying them. But before you leave, understand what you've learned tonight. You now possess knowledge most will never grasp. That power doesn't come from being everywhere. It comes from being scarce. That respect isn't earned through availability. It's commanded through distance. That influence isn't built by filling every silence. It's created by choosing which ones to break. These aren't just concepts. They're laws. Laws as real as gravity. Tomorrow, you'll face the same choices, the same meetings, the same messages, the same opportunities to be present. But now you see the trap. The question is, will you step out of it? Will you continue being furniture in every room? Or will you become the force that shapes them? Will you remain visible but powerless? Or become scarce but essential? Most who watch this will return to their patterns. They'll nod at the truth but cling to their habits. They'll understand the principle but fear the practice. They'll remain visible but powerless, present but forgotten. They'll share this video, discuss its concepts, then return to their cage of constant availability. A select few will disappear, not completely, not rudely, not dramatically, strategically, just enough to be noticed, just enough to be valued, just enough to matter. They'll stop responding instantly, stop attending reflexively, stop sharing compulsively. They'll create space, generate mystery, build power, one strategic absence at a time. Which will you be? The many who understand but don't act, or the few who disappear and ascend? If you're ready to understand the deeper laws governing human behavior, the video on your screen reveals why some people never earn respect, regardless of their efforts. Watch it now, and join us as we expose the silent laws that govern power, one uncomfortable truth at a time. Because in a world of noise, the quiet ones control the volume. And control, as you now understand, is everything.